Well, good morning. Here we are in Harrogate. Today I'm starting a large job which is going to take me 2 or 3 days to complete. Large areas of home sandstone, not especially dirty, but there's lots of green algae, really slippery and really quite dangerous too. To the front entrance and elsewhere we've got this really coarse sedimentary sandstone. It's full of minerals but it gets very green. There's a large resin driveway which was cleaned last year, but it's starting to get a bit dirty and patchy in places. And to various elevations of the building we've got large areas of render which is starting to discolour with algae. Looks a bit of a mess actually. My name's Paul Driver and I'm the owner of JetReady. We're known for exterior cleaning and restoration work, and with us, no job is too small or too large. So this job's going to be quite technical with a mixture of pressure washing, soft washing and even a bit of upholstery cleaning. Around the pool we've got this composite decking which is also very green and slippery. The outdoor furniture has been left out over winter and the upholstery's gone green. And this area beneath this large fir tree is known for getting particularly dirty because the pigeons have got a communal toilet right above. And here in the pointing we've got moss growing on top of the grouting compound. I know from past experience that this is quite fragile, so I'm going to have to be particularly careful with this. I sometimes get asked about whether I move furniture and pots and stuff, and 99 times in 100 I do, but it's the odd occasion where something's just too darn heavy, and these kettle barbecue oven thing, they're more like ovens, weigh an absolute ton, so I'm just going to clean underneath them. Trying as hard as I can there. Weighs a ton, literally. Time to get to work on cleaning up the upholstery. This synthetic cover material, and beneath that the fibre-filled cushions, are also PVC coated, so the water won't cause any damage. I'm going to get the thick of the algae off with the pressure washer, and then I'm going to apply biocide when I do everywhere else, and that will just kill off the algae. Day two, I'm going to work on the driveway area. We've got these rendered walls to clean off, the resin driveway, these coping stones, and also access is easy here to the back garden as well, so I'll do that also. Right, we'll get started on the back garden. We've got lots of tree cover here, and if anything, there's a lot more moss in these grouted joints than there was around the front, so I'm going to get that out first of all with a fan nozzle. I've got to say, this honed Indian sandstone is absolutely stunning. By honed, what I mean is that it's literally been polished to a smooth finish. Now, Indian sandstone has a problem which is pretty unique to it, in that algae can actually take up residence within the stone itself, and that ends up being greyish or green stains that are actually in the rock. You can't get it out with pressure washing. It's difficult to get it out with strong oxidizing chemicals like sodium hypochlorite. So what I'm going to do with all of the honed sandstone, including the large area around the back, is to apply a biocide treatment. The biocide will terminate any outstanding microbial algae, and it'll also get to work on any tiny bits of moss that remain in these grouted joints. So I'm just going to set up the chemical injector. I'm going to reduce the pressure right down, and that allows me to send the chemical down through my main pressure lines, and I'm going to be dispensing it at the other end with a foaming nozzle. There we go, that's ready to go. The next area to clean are the large flagstones which pave the way to the front entrance. Instead of being honed and polished, it's actually rough sawn and very, very coarse. I think it's millstone grit, which is very local to this area and also found in Derbyshire. Made up of a sandy grit and interspersed with pieces of quartz, I think it also contains traces of iron, hence the rusty red streaks that run through it. It's very attractive and cleans up amazingly well. Unfortunately, this part of the video wasn't filmed properly, nor do I have a proper audio recording. It was whilst working on this area that I came across a large rust stain streaking down from decorative cladding surrounding some large feature windows. Rust stains on stone can be very difficult to remove, and I've got a couple of really good products that I use when I come across it. Smelly Gel Pro will normally shift even really bad rust marks after 1 or 2 applications. But if any marks remain, I've also got the option to escalate it with another chemical called Pro 9 Rust Remover. After brushing on an initial application of Smelly Gel Pro, I go on to apply some deep clean alkaline foam to the flagstones. This will bring out the colours and really make them pop. Continuing with the millstone grit, I scale my ladders to get to the coping stones on top of the retaining walls which border the driveway. That's got the coping stones on this side done. Whilst I've got all the hoses in this location, I'm just going to give this rendered wall a light pressure wash just to free up some of the algae prior to applying some product. Whilst the chemical treatment was doing its job of eliminating all of those green organic stains on the rendered walls, I was able to get to work cleaning the lower half of the resin driveway. Here you can see me using a rotary flat surface cleaner. Notice how I'm manoeuvring it in a donut pattern. This is to prevent leaving tram lines of small dirt particles on the surface. A figure of 8 pattern works well too. And after giving the rendered walls a really good rinse down, I'm able to roll the van down to the bottom so that I can get the upper half of the drive clean as well. I finished up last week cleaning the resin driveway and the pigeons have already started work on it. Now it's not known by many, but most people in the exterior cleaning business are aware of this. Pigeons use communal toilets, by which I'm talking about this tree up here. I'll give that a little bit of a rinse off before we're done. Now these rendered walls around the driveway were very badly stained with algae. I applied a stain remover and that's been really successful. There are however some stubborn patches which remain, so I'm going to follow that up today with a biocide treatment. We've also got 1 or 2 darker streaks here which are a mixture of dead algae, but we've also got some water erosion as well. And that's what we can see here, water dripping down this cement line on the coping stones and actually eroding the render. Not much we can do about that. However, these slightly grey patches caused by dead algae will just biodegrade over the coming weeks and fade away. So the main event today to finish off is treating all of the rendered surfaces on the building. More algae stains here coming down from the guttering. There's probably some pine needles or some other kind of obstruction in the gutters there causing this. And there's even more of an algae build-up to the rear elevation of the property, especially so around the chimney. So the plan is that I'm going to apply a biocide treatment using a water-fed pole and the window cleaner's backpack. I'll do all of the rendered surfaces that way. I'll also spray down the upholstery on the garden furniture just to kill off the algae that's taking up residence there too. So I started off treating this rust stain with Smelly Gel Pro from Pure Seal. That's got rid of some of it, but there's a case for escalating the process now, so I'm going to use one of their other products. This is Rust Remover Pro 9. Really, really amazing stuff. The health and safety though is off the scale, so I'm going to use double gloves, full face respirator, be very careful with it. Amazing, that rust stain's gone within a matter of seconds. Oh, for fuck's sake. Absolute disaster. I splashed some of the product on the side of this cladding and it's etched it. Gutted about that. Not much I can do except just speak to the homeowner when he gets in and see what we can do to get the situation resolved. Looking at it carefully, it appears to be zinc plated cladding which is then coated with a metallic paint of some sort. Hopefully it'll be an easy enough fix. Despite my panic to quickly rinse everything down, if you rewind the video a few seconds you'll see that the damage was present before I applied the Pro 9 rust remover. But it wasn't there when I first started the job. So was it the Smelly Gel? Well, I'm not sure. Smelly Gel Pro is a pH neutral product, so that would be surprising. I'll need to do some testing to get to the bottom of the matter, and I'll post something in the video description once I know more. Still, I'm pretty pissed. He's going to see that every time he walks out this front door. Well, there's not really a lot I can do about that right now, so I'll just get on with the soft washing, the biocide treatment. That's steaming up, can't see what I'm doing, so I'm going to stand further back. No risk of the chemical dripping on me there. I'll just pause here for a little bit of an explainer. What's a biocide treatment? Well, quite simply, a biocide is something that kills and neutralises biofilm. Biofilm is a collective term for microorganisms such as algae, lichens, mildew, mould, other bacteria, and it's biofilm which causes your exterior surfaces to discolour. So what's happened here to this rendered area? I've applied the biocide. We can see that streak of algae coming from the gutter has gone very much darker in colour, and that's because the cell structure, the walls of the cells, the algae, literally exploding. And what you can see is that the microbes are bleeding out. Now that green staining will disappear over the next 2 or 3 days, and as a matter of fact the wall will get cleaner and cleaner over time. It leaves a little bit of a residue on the surface which penetrates the substrate, and what happens is that it reactivates when it gets wet again in the future, and that reactivation restarts the cleansing process. It's really quite clever how it works. Now before I forget, I'm going to get my ladders up there, have a closer look at that gutter and see if there's a reason for why we're getting that streak of algae down that corner. Well, there's no obstructions in the gutter, they're relatively clean, 1 or 2 pine needles, but hardly anything really. At the end of the gutter you can see where the metal's been folded and riveted, and I'm assuming that the rainwater has just found a little place where it can leak out, and that's what's causing that streak of algae. So we'll get on with the render. Right, another tricky bit up the chimney stack again. Crikey, there's a loose flag down there. I went down like a sack of potatoes. Jesus. Let's carry on then. Batteries run flat. Oh, one thing after another with this job. I have to get that plugged in the garage. In the meantime, I can fire up the pressure washer and be doing some other stuff. Right, once we're getting a bit of juice in that backpack, I'll fire up the pressure washer, use the chemical injector, and we'll put some biocide out the back, including on the upholstery for the garden furniture. We're back here in Harrogate just to do a little bit of finishing off. Good to see that this rendered wall that we treated with the biocide yesterday, the process is already working with a lot of the green staining from the algae already gone. It's an ongoing process though, so this will take a little while to complete, but it's good to see an early result. Fortunately though, we've got some major damage to this zinc-clad window frame as a result of splashing some chemical that I was using. It's really disappointing because getting this fixed is going to eliminate all the profit from this job. And the only good thing about this is that the rust stain is all but gone, and it was really quite bad. I made a good start applying biocide to these walls around the driveway, but I didn't quite get finished before losing daylight, so I'm just going to finish that off now. Well, we're all finished. That's a complete house clean from top to bottom. It's looking stunning, but not without its problems and its accidents. Like the time when I stepped on that loose flag, fell over, could have easily knocked my head there. There was nobody else in the building at the time. I could have been there for a while if I'd have hurt myself. And then there's the damage done to the cladding. That's going to cost me a lot of money to resolve. But most of the job was completely successful, so before packing up for the day, let's just have a quick look around. Firstly, we had these home sandstone flagstones, really beautiful, but they're very, very slippery, quite dangerous. Gave them a thorough clean off with a post-treatment of biocide. And again, this home sandstone is notorious for getting algae in the stone itself, and once that starts, it's a nightmare to keep clean. The upholstery on the garden furniture is cleaned up really well. That was really manky actually, covered in mould, covered in algae. So after giving it a good wash, I also post-treated it with biocide as well, kill off all of those microorganisms. The outdoor dining area was also a bit of a mess, especially this table, which was very green indeed. Really looks the part now. The approach to the main entrance, this absolutely fantastic sandstone, looks beautiful. And then we've got all these rendered surfaces which were streaking with algae. It's a common problem with these modern renders. All looking very, very clean now because of the soft wash treatment, initially with a stain remover, post-treated with a biocide. And then the rendered surfaces on the house. These were only treated yesterday and they're already looking better. Important to note that biocide soft washing doesn't always give an immediate result. The way to view it is the start of an ongoing self-cleansing process which gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner over time. And then we get to the wall of death where I tripped over on that loose flagstone. Actually, this aspect wasn't that dirty, more of a belt and braces exercise and just doing a thorough job. And all the paving around the back garden looking really clean, spick and span. But all in all, a big job, took me over 3 days to complete. It's come up very, very well. It's just a real shame it's been affected by those issues. With that said, the homeowner's a really decent bloke and we'll just work through those problems and get them sorted out to his satisfaction. Everything will be fine. So, until next time, all the best to all of you.